Hey y'all, hey, it's your girl Delisa Robinson, your favorite real estate diva out here in these real estate streets. I'm trying to get my cameras to work in the right way, and they are not. So bear with me just a quick second. That's why we're a little late today. Okay, maybe that'll help. Maybe. Yeah. All right. Today we are live. We are on Instagram. Hey y'all. And Facebook and YouTube. Hey, how y'all doing over here? So today we're going to be talking about goal setting. This is part 2 of the series for goal setting. Hey Tina, it's my cousin, y'all. So so don't ever say your family don't support because they come in. Okay. Now today we're going to be talking about goal setting. And the reason why we're talking about goal setting is because we are almost halfway through 2023, and some of you have not achieved half of what it is that you set out to achieve, including myself. So I figured if I was a little bit behind schedule, so were you. So today, this series for goal setting is to get you guys back on track with everything that you have to do. Okay. So what you will need for this session is pen, paper, or anything that you take notes with. So I'm going to say it again, pen and paper, anything you take notes with, and a calculator. This is a working session. This is not Delisa just going to sit here and talk to you and pretend that everything is Gucci because it's not. Today, we are going to do some work, and I want you guys to be on point. First things first, my name is Delisa Robinson. For those of you who don't know me, this might be your first time here. If this is your first time, don't let it be your last time. If you've been here before, welcome back. Mwah. So, what I would like to start off with is just giving you guys a little bit of my background and why I feel it's necessary for me and why you should link up with me and talk to me and listen to me or whatever. Okay. I have been in the real estate investment business for 25 years. I started out as a buy and hold investor where I was somebody's landlord. And that's what I did for the first, I want to say the first, excuse me, up until maybe 2015, 2016, from 1998 when I started up until 2015. I did nothing but acquire properties. And we're going to talk about acquisition goals later in the week, but we later in the series, but we're going to be talking about that. And I want to tell you guys, it can be done. It's nothing stopping you guys from doing it. It's nothing that can be done. But I did acquisitions, and my job was to acquire. All I wanted to do was acquire properties and have cash flow. The point of it is I wanted to eventually quit working my W-2 and start working for myself. And I wanted to buy back my freedom, buy back my time, especially the time with my kids, because as parents know, parents or people who are taking care of children, you know, these kids grow so quick and we have no clue what they're into, what they're doing, and you want to be present for those years because once they hit their teenage years, they won't be bothered with you no more. Not until they get older and start having children of their own, then they say, okay, maybe I should go visit mom, maybe I should go talk to dad, stuff like that. So that's why we're doing what we're doing this week. Now, I also as far as education, I am a licensed broker for the state of New York. I do have a degree in business. My focus is marketing, advertising, and public relations. I do teach. Who do I help? I help people who were just like me starting out. They had no money, they had no credit, or they had bad credit. They didn't know the systems and how to process and how to get into real estate without having any money or having bad or no credit. So those are the people I help, and I help people get into real estate with little to no money out of pocket. Now, I teach live on all of my platforms, all of my social media platforms, at least 2 times a week. I try to push it to 3, but because of the coaching and training that I do for my real estate pieces and stuff like that, I do have to, sometimes I have to limit that depending on what I have going on. Like tonight, I have the Get Wired Wholesale Boot Camp session 6 out of 8. We are almost done with boot camp, and I'm excited to talk about that. And why I teach is because nobody taught me. That's why I teach what I teach. Nobody taught me. I had to go out and research this information and learn the information. And then Once I had an idea of what was going on, how it was going on, then I decided, let me go get a coach. Let me go see what I can see. Let me do what I can do. And I went and I got a couple of coaches actually. I didn't get just one. I don't have just one coach. I have a real estate coach now who's going to show me how to get into buying commercial buildings and multifamily apartments, complexes, and things like that. I have a coach who helps me with my marketing and advertising, and I have a coach who helps me with my business direction. So, see, I have a coach too. Everybody should have a coach. Okay. Now, today we're going to be discussing goal setting for Q3 to increase your productivity and to increase your profits. So, do me a favor. If you are on Instagram, tag 3 people, tell them they need to get in here, invite, share. Rule number 1, housekeeping. If you want to say housekeeping or rules of engagement, I like rules of engagement because that's what this is about, engaging with me. My hair is all tangled and it's scratching the crap out of my neck right now. So, no, rule number 1, if you hear something that you don't understand, ask a question. If you have a question or something pops into your mind, ask the question. I am answering questions as I see them. I will scroll back through and make sure I don't miss any. And this is the point of this session, is to try and answer questions. Okay. Now that's number 1. Number 2, invite, comment, like, share. And if you're on YouTube, subscribe to my channel. Okay. Now, follow me on all my social media platforms as we get back into, we're going to get back into the swing of things. So, number 3, I do have some exciting news I'm going to share with you guys at the end, and I'll tell you about that later. But it's going down. You pretty much know. If you followed me this morning or seen any of my posts this morning, you already know what it is about. Okay? So, first step into goal setting is to work backwards. And I know a lot of people say, oh, I need to do it frontwards. I need to figure out what I want, where to do it, how to do it, and I have to take each step to build up to it. No, that's not effective goal setting. In order to effectively goal set for yourself, especially in a real estate space, you need to know, what is the big picture? What is it that you want? Okay? That's number 1. So I want everybody, if you have your notebooks, I told you get pen, paper, tablets and pens, or crayons, markers, whatever it is that you decide you want to take notes with. You've got your laptop out, you want to tap and take notes, that's perfectly fine. What I want you guys to say is this: what do you want? What is it that you want? What type of goal do you want to hit? How much money? And it's a monetary goal. Remember, today we're talking about monetary goals, because we're going to talk about our monetary goals. And then what we're going to do is factor in all the other goals that we talked about yesterday. Remember, we talked about systems, acquisitions, monetary, admin goals. When we talked about self-care goals, because a lot of people don't include themselves in self-care when they're doing this. And we talked about, I have to go back through my notes as well, your productivity goals. So we're going to start with the monetary goal. How much money do you want to make? Now, here's the thing. When you write down your goal, the first thing you have to do is say, I will, and I'll get to why I say I will instead of I want. I will make $100,000 wholesaling real estate. See how specific I'm being? Wholesaling real estate in the month from May 18th to June 18th. That's my goal. So that's how you write the goal down. Okay. You have to be very specific in what it is that you want. A goal is not a goal if you do not have what it is. When do you plan to get it done by? You have to have it. You have to state what it is, and you have to state when do you want it done by. Okay. So it has to have a start date, an end date, and specifics. What are you going to do to achieve this goal? So that's what you need to have in place. So I will make $100,000 wholesaling real estate from May 18th today to June 18th. That's the goal for me. Okay. That's my goal. And we're going to do this exercise throughout. And I'm going to come back on a weekly basis and give you guys updates. Okay. We're going to do an update session. Okay. Now that's the goal. Now, the second part of this is you have to believe. So get out of your head. You have to believe you can actually achieve the goal. So how do you achieve that? Because a lot of you, whatever your goal is, and if you want to put your goals in the comments, go ahead, put your goal in the comments. What is it that you want to achieve? It can be 1 month, 3 months, 6 months. Because remember, this is for quarter 3, which is from July 1st through July 1st through September 30th. July, August, September. Yeah. That's quarter 3. So we want to know, what do you want to do? And when are you going to get it done by? That's what you want in that instance. Okay. That's what you want to know. So if you want to put it in the chat, want to put in the comments on Facebook or YouTube, you want to put it in the comments, feel free to put it in the comments and I'll be more than happy to respond and see you guys. Okay. So that's where we're at right now. What is it you want to achieve? Okay. Because I'm on Facebook and Instagram over here. Not Facebook and Instagram, Facebook and YouTube over here, Instagram over here. Put your goals in the comments. So I will make $100 wholesaling. See how that specific that is? I said what I wanted to achieve, how I plan to do it, and by what date I want to get it done by. Okay? All right. Next, you have to every day prepare for this. Now, when I say you have to mentally get ready for it, you have to mentally get ready for it. You have to first believe that you can do this. Okay. So the big goal for me is 100,000. Why do I believe I can do this? First of all, I'm challenge driven. I'm not money motivated. I'm challenge driven. So basically telling me I can't do something is game on. I'm doing it. Okay. Now that's number 1. Number 2, because I've done it before. I've done 6 figures in 30 days before. I need to do it consistently. I need to go back to remembering what it was I did when I did this. And I've done it more than 1 month, but I need to do it more often. So now, how do I plan to do $100,000 in 30 days? Wholesaling real estate. So now, first of all, when I say you have to believe you have to do it, every morning you have to prepare for the day. Remember, yesterday we talked about time blocking. We talked about showing up for yourself. We talked about theme days. And that's what one of the commenters said to me, the theme days. Now, what we do and what we did then and how we're going to do it now is simple. Number 1, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to say, first, I have a daily affirmation that I say, and I'll read it to you because I wrote it down and I read it every morning and I say it out loud to myself to make sure. It says, I am capable of achieving the life I want. Because we all know when you speak, what you speak and what you hear, what you take in is what you believe. So you have to speak life into yourself. You have to speak positivity into yourself. And that's just how it is. Unfortunately, that's the law of energy and the law of attraction. You get what you put out. You attract what you put out. Excuse me. So I start by saying, I am capable of achieving the life that I want. I am worthy of the life that I want. Because a lot of you don't believe you deserve the success. I am love and light and deserve that in return. I am a money magnet. Money flows to me in abundance. Money enjoys my company. I enjoy the company of money. No, it's not a bad thing. The root of all evil is not money. It's the love of money that is the root of all evil. The goals I set are achievable and I will get them done. I am the daughter of Robert and Dorothy. Nothing can stop me. That's what you have to say. I wrote it out. So I see it I have it on my refrigerator that's in my office. I have it written down in my notebook. I have it and I have it written down on my iPad so I can flip to it whenever I'm feeling a little bit of sorts. And then you have to move like God got you. Okay? Now, you have to believe you can do this because if you don't believe it, excuse me, nobody else will believe it. And it's pointless at that point. Okay? So, action step number 1 in order to getting this down is write out your affirmation for yourself every day. Okay? That's action step number 1. Write your affirmation. Okay? Now, action step number 2 is I want you, because a lot of you don't understand, and I did this with my interns a couple years ago before COVID when we were able to be in the office all together and do all this other stuff. Now, I did this with my interns. And I basically said to them, let's write down, and I had one intern particularly, she said, I'm trying to figure out how I can get $5,000 to invest in the flip project. Because the 3 of them wanted to do a flip, and they decided to come up with $15,000. So it was $5,000 a piece. And the one young lady said, I don't have $5,000. And I said, okay, well, let's figure it out. How can you get $5,000? Rule number 1, write down what you're good at. And I'm still talking to you guys on the live stream. This is things, like I said, this is an interactive live stream. This series is interactive. Okay. Write down what you are good at. If you're good at sales, write down sales. If you're good at writing, write down writing. You're good at networking, write down networking. If you're good at doing people's hair, write down hair. If you're good at people's makeup, barber cuts, helping people find outfits, stylists, if you're good at mowing grass, if you're good at housekeeping, if you're good at cooking, write down whatever it is that you are good at. It does not have to be real estate related. It doesn't have to be business related. Just write down everything that you are good at. Okay? That's number 2. Action step number 2. Now, once you have written down everything that you are good at, and I'm going to give you some time to do that because I'm going to go and grab a bottle of water. Once you have written down everything that you are good at, I want you to look at the list and see what can you charge people to do it. All right, I'll be right back. I'm going to grab my water. Okay. You are writing down what you are good at, and you are writing down what would you charge somebody to do it. For instance, if you're good at cooking and you cooked a dinner, and we all know the people who sell dinners and do things like that, seafood dinners, chicken dinners, rib dinners, soul food dinners, whatever it is, write that down. If you're a good cook, write it down and see how can you make money? How can you monetize that? So that's what you're going to do, because your goal, your monetary goal is like my monetary goal. I want to make $100,000 wholesaling real estate. Because some of you feel like you need money to get into real estate, and you do need some money. You don't need a lot of it, and you can get it from other people. And that's the thing too. So if your monetary goal is to make $10,000 a month from a rental property, because remember I said it has to be specific. What is it that how much do you want to make? When do you want to make it by? And how are you going to make it? So that's what you have to do. How are you going to get that done? So what we do in that instance is, so the young lady, using my intern as the example, she wrote down everything that she does. Beautiful young lady. And she was very sweet. She She did parties where she hosted parties and people paid for her for that. She knew how to do makeup really well. People paid her for that. And she had other things like she wrote and typed up college papers and college notes and stuff like that. She had like 15 different things that she did. So she went back into, and I said, okay, so which one of this is going to pay you the quickest so that you can invest in your real estate deal? And she said, well, makeup and parties. I said, okay, so focus on that. She came back a week later. She goes, I have $2,500 because she hosted 2 parties over the weekend and she did like 4 people's makeup and she made $2,500. I said, okay. She goes, yeah, and I have 2 more parties booked next week and I have 3 or 4 more makeup bookings. So yeah, I'll have my 5,000. And what she did was she kept doing it and kept doing it, kept doing it, and kept doing it. So now, not only did she have 5,000, she came up with about 8. All right. So she had her 8,000. How am I going to, because with this $100,000 that I'm trying to make in real estate, you guys know, and I tell you guys this all the time because I'm an open book. I don't have anything to hide. I'm recently divorced and I'm rebuilding my real estate portfolio because when you get divorced, you have to liquidate assets. Okay. So I'm rebuilding my real estate portfolio. So now I need the $100,000 to invest. I need it to pay off some bills. I need it to do whatever it is that I need it to do. So I don't want to take the money out of the income that I currently have coming in. I want this money separate from that because I don't want to live below my means. I'm gonna just say it like that. I don't want to live below where I am right now. I want to do more and do more. So this is it. Just like some people who are in stock markets and who invest in stocks, they have certain stocks that they will use to say, "Oh, I'm going to buy a new car," or "I'm going to with this stock option, I'm going to with this stock option, I'm going to buy a house." And they build that option up until they get to that goal, the goal that they want to hit. Excuse me, 1 minute, Instagram. I just got a notice that my phone's about to die. So when you have that, because I don't want you guys to lose connection. I'm gonna have to move you guys to the other side of the world. There we go. Sorry. I've been working so much this morning, I didn't realize my phone was basically on 0%. So there we go. Cool. All right, cool. So, well, by having to move it, I can now just look forward. Okay, so she ended up with the money, and now, even with my own situation, write down what are you going to do with the money once you hit it, once you get it. What are you going to do with this? Are you going to buy shoes, buy clothes, invest it in stocks, invest it in real estate, invest it in crypto, whatever you want to invest it in? Are you going to do that? So that's what you're going to do next. Write down what you're going to do with the money. So you've already written down your daily affirmation. You've already written down what you're good at. You've already written down what you would charge people to do what you do, what you're good at. And then now you're also going to you wrote down your goal. Now write down what are you going to do with the money once you achieve the goal. Okay. Now, and then look at what it is that you have to do. And the reason why I say that, and that's why we have my best friend, my calculator. So what we're doing is this. So I said $100,000 in 30 days. That means I have to make 3,000. I round up $3,400 a day. Now, will I make that a day? Maybe. Wholesaling? No, because you don't get paid from a wholesale deal until the deal closes. So for my situation with wholesaling, my goal is going to be $100,000 in contracts. So I have to find, and how do I do that? Well, my average assignment is about 10,000. So I need 10 deals. That's going to make me $10,000 each. And then I have to look at, what do I have? What do I need to achieve this? I need leads. I need leads. I need JV partners. Now, the lead is somebody who says, yes, I want to sell my house. The JV partner is someone who has a house to sell and I know how to find buyers. The deposits from the non-refundable deposits that I'll make from these, those count as well. So I need to get deposits on all of my properties. So that's 3 different ways I'm going to be doing this. I'm going to generate leads on my own. I'm going to partner up with someone to make this happen. And as people partner up with me, as people sign these contracts, we get deposits. So the deposits are going to come in, and that, no, I can't spend the money until the deal closes. Just so you know, guys, keep that in mind. But I can hold on to the deposit. So if I say, so now I said I need 10 deals. Then you look back and say, then I look on my tracker. Well, how many deals do I have currently in process? The answer, just the one. Why? Because I haven't been wholesaling that much. So I have one in process where I have one under contract, and I'll make $9,000 from that one. I have 3 leads to follow up on, to submit offers on. Now, keep in mind, when you JV, joint venture, with other people, when you partner up with other people, you will have to split money. Okay, depending on how you guys did this or how it is. So when I say you have to break it down piece by piece. We're going to use another example after this too. So right now we're using my example of wholesaling real estate. Okay, so I need 10 deals at $10,000 each in order to make $100,000 in 30 days. So first things first, I need to lead generate. How am I going to do that? That's where the productivity goal comes into play. How many properties per day am I going to call? How many owners am I going to call about their properties per day? Okay. How many letters am I sending out? How many text messages am I sending out? That's your productivity goal. Then you want to say, from what hours, this is where we talked about yesterday, time blocking. From what hours, what time of the day am I sending these messages? Then you want to know, and you want to keep track of where your leads are coming from, so you know to double down on what you're good at. So if you're good at making phone calls and doing follow-up and talking to people on the phone, then you say, okay, I need to make more phone calls. I notice most of my calls are calling me back between 4 and 8 in the evening. Maybe I shouldn't call until 4 to 8 in the evening. That's how you're going to build up and make time. So yesterday we time blocked the days out. Remember, I said on Mondays I do real estate, Tuesdays I do property management, Wednesdays and Thursdays I'm coaching and all things in between. And on Fridays I do admin and Airbnb. Remember, so you don't have to do the days that I do, but figure out what days you're going to do for what you do. Now, another thing you want to get into is, once you know what you're going to do on each day, then you're going to talk about what time of day are you going to do each particular thing. Okay, what time of day are you going to do each particular thing? So how many letters are you going to send out? And if you know how to do a mail merge in a Word document using Excel and Word, you can do 500 letters in 10 minutes. Okay? Keep that in mind. Next, you want to sit back and you want to say, okay, now I made 50 phone calls this day. How many am I? And I got 3 leads. Well, the next day I made 75 calls and I got 2 leads. You want to keep track of what you have going on, okay? And then maybe it was a good day, you made 150 calls, but you only got 1 lead. So the average lead is 2. You're averaging 2 leads. That is not right. Over 3 days. So every 3 days, you're averaging 2 leads. So now you know, okay, so if you're calling 5 days a week, 6 days a week, you already know you're going to average about 2 leads per week because you're only getting 2 leads every 3 days. If you're only calling 5 days a week, you're only going to get average about 2 to 3 leads. So you're averaging anywhere from 2 to 3 leads. Add another day, you're averaging anywhere between 4 to 5 leads. And that's how you work that out. Okay. So now if I'm calling 5, 6, 7 days, if I have, well, I'm going to be honest, I'm not calling. I have a VA and she's going to call. And we'll talk about that when we get to systems. Because a lot of you don't have time to do this. So now if I know, if my VA is calling 6 days a week, if they're calling 6 days a week and they're sending me 4 leads a week, that's 12 leads. No, that's 16 leads per month. So now I have the leads. Now I need to know my conversion rates. And that's another thing you're going to have when you're doing real estate and you're doing your monetary goals. So this is all under productivity. You want to know how many calls, which is your actual physical productivity. You want to check for conversion rate, how much of my efforts is actually turning into money. So these are the things you need to know. Okay. Now I do have to get ready to get out of here because I know I have an appointment in about 10 minutes. So if you guys have any questions, please let me know. You can drop them in the comments and I'll be more than happy to answer them for you. We're going to stop right here because in order for me to get into the next thing, it's going to take way longer. So I don't want to start it and not be able to finish it. So we're going to stop right here at conversions. And we're going to pick it up at conversion rates tomorrow. And I might be on a little bit earlier tomorrow. And that will be still probably part 3. And I'm going to show you how to put productivity, how your productivity affects your monetary goals. That's what we'll be talking about tomorrow. And like I always tell you guys before I leave out, if you can choose to be anything you want in this world, I just hope that you choose to be kind, because at some point in your life, someone was kind to you. It's always a good thing to pay kindness forward, because not only does it make you a happier person, it also makes the world a better place to live. So love and like you a lot. We'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm going to try and do it a little bit earlier than 2. So probably like around between 11 and 12. I'm going to try and between 11 and 1. I'm going to try and come on tomorrow afternoon. And we're going to finish up conversion rates because we're going to put productivity into monetary and see how that works out. And then we're going to talk about how systems play a part in this and how your self-care is going to play a part in this. And we're going to talk about some other things. So I will see you guys tomorrow between 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is 8 o'clock if you're on the West Coast. Okay. So it'll be 8 to 11 if you're on the West Coast. So we'll talk to you then. Have a great day. And like I always say, be nice. Okay. I'll talk to you later. Bye.